build up a little bit here. I got another camera going on over here as well, so I'm just going to be going back and forth. But if you got any questions, please let me know. I'm going to be talking about 3 simple steps about goal setting. If you got any if you got any questions or anything that I want to answer, just please let me know. I'm going to be going. I got just 3 basic steps I'm going to give you on goal setting. But if anybody wants to ask specific questions right now, you can. I just wanted to allow it to build up a little bit before we get going. Any specific questions? Anybody got any specific questions you want to address or discuss? Let me know. Hi, all. I'm going to be talking about 3 simple steps you could do for goal setting. If you want to discuss anything now before I get started, why are you balding? I'm thinning. Thanks for noticing. I could see that you're stuck in a negative mindset. That's the only thing you notice is that I am thinning hair. See, you couldn't notice anything else? Whatever your name is, did I say it? Century 4 liter? Thanks for noticing that I'm thinning up. Funny. Some people, eh? So I wanted to discuss goal setting and give you 3 basic tips because this is the time of year people tend to fall off their New Year's resolutions or even tend to stick to their New Year's resolutions. So if you have any specific, do a 360. What does that mean? I got 2 lives going on now, one on TikTok, one here on YouTube. But there's some questions coming on TikTok and no questions coming in YouTube. But I'll monitor both. I'm not going to spin. I'm here to talk about goal setting. So what happens is sometimes we set these goals and we don't reach them, and we tend to fall off the wagon. But the important part in saying that this is normal, and what we can do is help with getting you back on track and finding a better system. But sometimes we set these goals so big and we don't get there. But if you break it down into smaller steps, sometimes you can get to the point that you want to get to. Or sometimes you just lose momentum and you don't really feel like keeping going, which is all normal. This is all normal stuff. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just the way it is. Thanks for the likes, by the way, Maria. So I want to give you 3 basic tips that you could do to help you out. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Now, the most important part is to understand that when you are setting goals, you got to break it down into smaller steps. So let's say the goal is you want to achieve. If anybody wants to jump out on specific goals, thanks, Maria. Does anybody have any specific goals you want to talk about here? Or you want to jump in? Anybody want to having a hard time reaching a specific goal that you want to discuss? Thanks for the likes, by the way. Maria, I appreciate all that. No specific goals you want to discuss? So there's 2 things. When we put so much pressure on us reaching our goals that sometimes we fall off the wagon, we don't reach them. And which is fine. It's just because we come to this understanding that we put these deadlines and we put these specific goals that you want to hit in certain timelines, which is not always the case. So when I'm speaking to people, I don't like to tell them that there's always a timeline to what you're trying to reach. I always say keep it open. So let's say you set a goal for whatever, making 150,000 a year. Thanks for the likes, by the way, bro. The Let's say you don't make it in 12 months. Let's say you say in 1 year I want to make 150,000, but you're you set this goal for yourself, and then you go and you keep moving, and you're heading towards the 12th month, and on the 12th month you haven't reached a goal. So now your motivation energy is down. But sometimes what happens is you don't reach the goal on the 12th month, but on the 13th month you reach that goal of the abundance of money that you want to earn. So I don't always like setting specific timelines to the goal, because the goal could turn at any point. Like, some people can make $150,000 in a week. So when you set the amount of money that you want to earn, don't put a timeline to that. Just create a goal and allow the vision to come together. So whatever the goal is, if anybody has any specific goals that they want to talk about, now that you got me here on the live, go ahead, and I'll try to break it down to show you the basic steps of getting to it. But it's a common goal for everyone. It, Everybody always discusses money for some reason, and as a goal that they wanna do and reach. But there's so much goals, and there's so much more to abundance in life than just financing. So when you're setting your goals and you're breaking it down, you should organize yourself in a certain way that financing should be a part of it, but it shouldn't be just your goal. Like, you shouldn't be like, oh, I want to make $150,000, and that's the only goal you have. You have to create more goals than that, because financing, when it comes to money and earning, that, and you're just placing that one goal always on financing and earning, it's a struggle sometimes, because you have nothing else to keep you motivated and inspired and keep you moving. So creating um, goals is important, but also understanding that it shouldn't just be around finance and abundance of money. Does anybody have any questions right now? Have I lost you? I'll keep this open. If you could speak to me, it's important. So I just got two lives going right now, one on YouTube and I'm looking on YouTube. So thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes, Mrs. Wonderful. Train hard, eat real food, buy XRP, enjoy life. It's pretty good. Villa lifestyle on the water. I like it. That's your goal, I guess, to buy that certain stock or XRP. And I'm happy if it's working out for you. I love the training hard and working on water, but you should never just focus on the one thing. So let's say when you set the big goals. Anybody got any big goals right now that they want to achieve? Love mental health. Yes, me too, Katie. Katie, I'm with you on the mental health. It's really big right now. A lot. Uh, I do as much as I can, and I support as much as I can on TikTok and my social media channels. But you can tell people are really suffering right now. It's a mental mind game right now, and people are really suffering. So just to let them know that the support out there, and if anybody wants to chat, I'm always welcome to that chat. I'm a social worker. Where do you work, Katie? It's important. Let me move back to goals. So I don't suggest. I'm in Ontario, I'm Ottawa, Ontario myself. I don't suggest you set deadlines. What I do suggest you do is celebrate the wins along the way. So when you create your goals and you break it down, you'll know you're going to reach. You're going to celebrate the smaller wins. You have to. You have to celebrate the smaller wins along the way. And usually, when you start out and create goals and you start moving towards a direction, you start making small goals for yourself. Now, that's an important step to do. Most people set out and create these small goals for themselves, but they don't reach them because they fail themselves. And when you're creating these goals, like a small one, let's just pick a random one. I did a video on this today talking about setting an alarm for 6 in the morning and waking up. If you're always hitting snooze and you're not waking at the time that you're saying that you're going to wake up, this is affecting you because you're putting this uh, goal that you're setting for yourself, but you're not even living up to it. So this will cause you to struggle, right? This will cause you to struggle in the sense that you if you're not even putting believing in yourself, how are you going to achieve the bigger goals? Oh, that's awesome, Katie. Good for you. I'm all about personal development and creating the life that you want and who you are. Thank you for all the likes, by the way. That's important, and we're all able to do it. It's just sometimes we're stuck in this mindset that we're not able to achieve it. So when I came on today, I just wanted to talk about three basic steps that we could develop in order to help with our goals. Now, the basic steps, one is to break it down in small steps. Two, big goals may feel overwhelming, so you got to celebrate the small wins. Three is set deadlines, but understanding that you should be flexible, but in those deadlines, celebrate the small wins. And then four, when you set the deadline, it's like creating urgency that you feel you need to, but that could always create anxiety because if you don't reach the goal, it could cause problems, right? Make you feel like you're not accomplishing a lot, but meanwhile you are. And the universe is working harder than ever to make you reach your goals. But if you're not reaching your goals physically, like you haven't seen it, you don't. The universe has applied a lot in front of you that you're able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So, does anybody have any specific questions before I keep talking? Because I could keep talking forever, but I just wanted to do this quick live to get you guys on and hopefully give some people some comfort right now, because this is the time of year when it probably has happened. Most people get on these New Year's resolutions, which I don't believe in. I believe in taking a restep. And you could see right now, I cleaned my board and reassessing, which is important to do, right? So when it's okay to stop and erase and reassess and create new plans and develop new things along that journey, because new ideas and new opportunities will present itself when you start moving in that direction. So today I was like, you know what? I started off, I'm going to rewrite my, I like to write out my vision. So when I write, I'm going to rewrite it. But there's a lot of things I learned in the last month and a half that is going to help me propel me in the next direction, which I'm going to implement it in my upcoming goals. So if you feel like the goals that you set are you're not reaching or you're not, it's okay to start fresh. Which, if you're feeling that way, I do suggest you do it and then take the basic steps, which you could find on my website, tips and tools. I've broken it down, basic steps that you could just print off or um, you could have. Does anybody have any specific questions? Oh, good for you. There's something greater for you at the Commerce at Rotten. This is the reason why you couldn't get into Greens. This is why you moved over to. This is why you couldn't get into Greens. You got to experience what you got to experience over there at the other university. Did you ever think about that? Questions? Anybody have any specific questions? I could talk a lot about goal setting, but if you got any specific questions that you want to ask, I could help out. Now that you got me on the live, I also got YouTube going right now, so don't mind if I'm looking up and down. I apologize. I'm just seeing if more of the questions are coming in on TikTok live than YouTube. But if anybody has any specific, we'll just talk about goal setting and how important it is. Now, if people are feeling like vibration and energy are low right now, which a lot of people are this time of year because of the weather and um, set to create goals and we're failing them and we're not reaching them. One of the easiest ways to get your vibration back and energy levels back the is exercise. Get out, go for a walk, trees, move around. KC just asked a question here on YouTube. I'm gonna. How do you set up a system versus goal system? What system are you implying? You don't need to make goal setting difficult. We make it difficult. So when you say create a system, why are you asking about a system? Like, are you talking about routine, Casey? Like, how do you create a routine around your goals? Anybody have any questions here? Thanks for jumping on, Casey. So let's recap about these smaller steps. When you James, it's always a pleasure seeing you. It's great to see you at the hockey game out of it. That means if you're feeling this feeling, something's going to present itself because your future self has received that. So now your future self is making you feel like that abundance is coming your way. System to get this goals to work. You're making it difficult, Casey. This is the reason why the goals are not working. Give me an example of one of your goals, Casey. Give me an example. I'll help you out and I'll get you structured. So, James, this is good news. When you start feeling this way, it's like your resonance is picking up. It's because your vibration is getting higher, because you need that vibration higher in order to receive what's coming. Make sense, James? Because you can't, everybody wants a new life. Everybody wants to create a new reality. Everybody wants to move forward and develop what you want to develop, which is awesome. But the biggest thing you need to understand is that you cannot have your old way of thinking and old attitude and old feelings in order to bring on that new reality. It just doesn't work. So when you start feeling like that abundance is coming, it means that your energy and your vibration is raising in order to receive that, right? And the thought was placed in your mind for a reason, which is causing you to have that appreciation. Are you in Canada? Michelle, yes, I am in Canada. I live in Ottawa, Ontario. Yes, sir. My gratitude. That's what I like to hear. Gratitude. If you're in the position of thanks of receiving that, James, that abundance is on the way. And things are really shifting, right? You could feel it. Markets, people. Actually, I'm actually getting people saying hello now. Like, I used to walk in the store and people had just had their heads down. But you could feel that people's energy and vibrations are moving, which is causing them to be more happier. Vibes are up. People are saying hello. Have you guys noticed that? Okay, my goal is to be consistent in studying for graduate school entrance again. Okay, that's your goal. So now what I would say is, have you scheduled yourself in a consistent manner in order to have your studying? So if you say to yourself, I want to study 3 days a week, is that enough? Casey, I want to eat. Wow, would that interest you? I see you have knowledge to teach to the youth, but no audience. We could fix that. What are you talking about, Corson? I always like to, Michelle, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. So let's go back on old habits. Thanks for the compliment, Michelle. I appreciate that. James, it's on the way, my man. in this mindset for a while, so it's all turning for you now. I want to make the lives of single mothers slightly worse. Slightly worse. What? I'm going to disregard that comment. I sell likes to boost. I'm not interested in selling likes to boost audience. And creating these videos to help people, and hopefully I support the people that need it. How do you stop feeling demotivated to accomplish your goals, such as starting a business? Oh, James, thanks. Thoughts. Very good question. So I'm just going to answer KC's question here. He's on the live on YouTube. I'm just going to answer it. KC, how many days a week have you scheduled yourself to do your studying in your schedule, yeah, as you called system? How do you stop feeling demotivated to accomplish a goal such as starting a business? So, what is stopping you from starting it? Clapper 399. Let me ask you that question. Let's get to the problem. What is stopping you from starting that business? Well, Casey, that's not a problem. That is that could be happening. That your old the old you is, in order to graduate to the next level of your life, you're gonna have to leave a lot of things behind. Your old way of thinking, habits, people, well, that will all have to leave in order for your new life to enter, right? I always relate it to, let's take football for example, because it's the Super Bowl. Like, most those people who are playing in the Super Bowl, those football athletes, think about where they started. Do you think every single player made it with them to professional football, that they went through their entire career? So when they were graduating to the next stage in order to become that professional athlete, they would have to leave a lot of people behind. Old way of thinking, old habits, new coaches come in, create new systems, new plays that they got to learn in order to advance themselves, right? And now they're playing in the Super Bowl because every time they moved on to the next level in their career, they learned new things, they left the old ideas behind, and they moved in the direction that they needed to in order for them to reach the goal that they want. And let's say the goal was to reach a Super Bowl, and now they're there because they left their mind open to create new systems, new ideas in order to reach the goals that they want. So, Casey, you scheduled yourself 6 days a week of studying. Can you stay consistent in that? And if you could stay consistent, that is good. But sometimes putting a lot of pressure on the goal is not always a good thing. Now, why don't you try to see if like one week it's 6 days and the next week is four days, and see how many days studying a week will actually help improve what you want to improve. Because maybe you'll learn more in the four instead of putting so much pressure on you for the six. Anybody got any questions? I'm just answering Casey's questions here. Sometimes putting so much pressure on yourself to reach these goals is the reason why we're not reaching the goals. And you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself because that just affects you. Adam from YouTube, HND. Adam, I'm just on both right now. I'm talking to somebody on YouTube as well as TikTok. I'm just trying to answer both questions. But hopefully his questions are going to help you guys on TikTok and vice versa. This is the reason why I do the two at the same time. HND, do you have any questions? Who? Okay. So now this is good because now we got to the root of the problem. You're afraid to start the business because you fear the failing of the business. Right, Clapper? You're afraid to take the next step because your fear is failure. Is that right? I don't think my ideas are good enough to solve any problems, or I'm fearful that my ideas might fail. So before you've even started the business, your idea of failing scares you, which is reason why you haven't taken the first step. You know what I blame that on? I blame that all on the school system because you study, and then you're so worried about the mark that you're going to get, and then you think that failing is a bad thing, which is not. Failing is what you need in order to learn. That's what you need. And then, so when you say that we study so much, we take the test, and sometimes you didn't do well, but that doesn't make you not smart. That doesn't make you not able to complete great things. Doing a test, KC, doing the test, storing all that knowledge up there, and then writing the test just shows you that you could hold a lot of information. That's a good thing. But where do you apply it? I tried to eat the frog, but then I get stuck. Eat what frog? KC. So correct. So how do you overcome failure, Clapper? But Clapper, how do you know that your business ideas are not good enough to generate money? You haven't even tried it. You're assuming the fact that you can't generate an income from your ideas. KC, am I getting anywhere with you? How you doing? Do you understand, Clapper? You've already set in your mind that your ideas are worthless before you've even started. Do you see the issue there? So, in order for you to try it and see if you can generate any money from the start, how is it that you're going to know unless you try? No, it's not the hard work. Listen. We find that this is everybody, not just us. Everybody here. We always take the small steps at the beginning are the hardest steps, right? That's the way we think about it. But we should be looking at the same thing as those small steps are placed there for a reason. And if you're noticing that they have the small steps, then that means the greater steps are coming, right? For you to get to where you need to be. But the small, tedious steps at the beginning feel like you're not getting anywhere. You're not doing anything. Nothing's working out for me. I'm in a terrible spot. No, you're not. Those small steps are there for you. It's like little breadcrumb trails in order for you to reach the goal. Yeah, your mind could be your greatest enemy sometimes. But you need to know that you are in control of your mind. Your mind listens to you, so you need to adjust the way you're thinking. That's what it's all about, mindset. This is why I'm talking about mindset, because I've been there. Everything I'm telling you, everything I share with the videos and I go through, it's because I've been there. I've hard way. I have no degree. I haven't graduated in a course in university that has talk about mindset. I just went through it and I learned what I needed to learn in order to help the next person. And sometimes the hard way, anybody could change their life. It's just the problem, we're so stuck in our minds that we don't. Yes, I see the issue. I think my mindset needs to change completely. And yes, of course. Clapper, those ideas that you have are put in front of you for a reason. Maybe you need to go down those avenues of taking chances on the ideas to develop who you need to be in order to get to the bigger idea. Do you have a big vision in your head? Like, this is where I want to be in 20 years, and this is who I want to be, and this is the goal and the direction I'm going? So if you have that, these ideas are brought to you for a reason. These small ones that you think that are not going to be worthy of any income, but they maybe they're put in front of you in order for you to learn what you need to learn in order to get to where you want. And the only consistent thing in life are challenges. Because every time you try to upgrade or every time you're moving into a new stage of your life, the challenge will be there. So you got to flip the way you look at challenges and uncertainty and know that uncertainty and challenges are placed in front of you in order to develop you, not make you retreat, make you overcome and move forward. You may not have the answer today, you may not see it all today, but eventually the answers will come forward. Anybody have any other questions? Casey, are we doing okay? How do you get your actions to match your mindset? Well, you pick a direction and you move. That it's not a difficult thing. We make it difficult. The actions that we want to take, we don't do it because of one. Clapper was just talking about it on the other live. Is fear. He fears him moving forward and taking those steps because he believes that they're not worthy of making an income. Well, that's not true. He doesn't know. Clapper doesn't know. Um, Clapper's his name. He has the idea, right? But he's not taking action on it. Why? Because he fears the unknown. He's fearing it. That's what he's fearing. So he's creating this whole image in his head that, oh, he's going to do something, but it's not going to be profitable. How does he know that? How does Clapper, how do you know that? So when your actions match your mindset, that's when you move in the right direction. This whole manifestation thing, it's true, but you need to have your values and beliefs aligned with your goal setting. That moves you into manifestation. This is a big part that people leave out when it comes to manifestation. If you're operating on old values and beliefs, you're never going to move into your new reality or your new destination. It just doesn't work. So you want to manifest great things to it, but you need to know what your values and beliefs are around that in order to reach those goals. So when you start moving into action, that's the first step, right? So thoughts, emotion, and action. When you start moving into action, this is when you start seeing some real things, some real movement. And the steps could be small and not much going on around you, which make you feel terrible and stagnant. But that's okay because you don't see the greater picture that is unfolding in front of you. But you just know you're going to get there. Casey, where are you messaging from right now? Casey, where are you messaging from right now? Anybody else have any questions? Anybody? Clapper, I hope I helped out there, my man. Anybody have any specific questions? I know I'm going back and forth here. I do apologize, but when I do these live events, I would like to get as many people questions answered as possible. So I just jump back and forth. But hopefully the questions are helping you as well. Right? This is the time of year that we feel like if you're feeling like your mind right now is like, oh my God, and you're down and things are not envy, not going in the right direction, believe me, they are heading in the right direction. It's just you don't see everything that's happening right now. No problems, Clapper. Anybody else have any questions on both sides? Anybody? Might be my time to log off here. Hopefully, I helped out, guys. Clapper, you have some great questions. If anybody has any specific ones that they don't want to reach out and ask, you could just message me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We have tips and tools too on the website that you go to. It will help you with that you could take or just keep online. Anybody else? KC, thank you. Appreciate the compliments. Hopefully, don't put so much pressure on yourself too. Both sides here. The pressure that we put on ourselves with the goals, that's what really affects us from reaching the goals. Now, if you have faith and trust that you are going to reach where you want to reach, everything will fall into place. You just gotta follow the steps, and when the universe presents something, you got to be willing to take the action. Anybody else have any questions before I log off? Okay, guys, you can see the pain is. I'm sorry. Sorry, I just got a question. I was going to log off, but I just got a question. You can see the pain. What are you talking about here? Show the hairline. Show. You could see the pain. What are we talking about? What pain? Anybody on YouTube have any questions as well? Thanks for Casey for jumping in here. I know it's not easy, but I appreciate that. You can see the pain in his the what is that? I may be old here, but what's DIHH? What? Why? Oh, I know you're the type of guy who sits in the chair on the corner in the hotel and watches. Watches who? And you say people watch? Hey, great day to you, man. You enjoy it, Casey. You got this. Anybody else on YouTube have any questions? If we don't, I'm going to log off. Clapper, go to the website, tips and tools, basic ones there for you. Website, psychozoicera.com. Go down to tips and tools. I have it structured there for you. I'm going to end YouTube